Pantani and Roglic aren't two names that you hear often in the same sentence. But one commonality shared between these two men is that both have won Grand Tours on Celeste Bianchi bikes. But that is where the similarities end. With over 20 years between their Grand Tour victories, so much has changed. Or has it? Back in 1998, the Italian superstar Marco Pantani, Il Pirata, the Pirate, did what few before him have been able to accomplish by winning the Giro and the Tour de France in the same season, a feat that put Pantani onto a very exclusive list of riders that have been able to accomplish that. The Giro and the Tour are arguably the biggest stage races in the world, and the riders that have won those two in the same season, well, that list is even shorter. Riders who have completed the Giro Tour double are Coppi, Merckx, Anquetil, Hino, Indurain, and of course, the man we're talking about here today, Marco Pantani in 1998. Last year, it was looking like we might add another name to that short list of riders who have been able to win 2 Grand Tours in one season with Primoz Roglic. Roglic held the leader's jersey at the Giro for the opening week and went on to finish 3rd overall. He learned some valuable lessons and gained a slew of confidence, ultimately winning his first Grand Tour of his career at the Vuelta a España a couple of months later. Today, we're going to be comparing Pantani's retro 1998 Bianchi Mega Pro XL versus Roglic's modern Bianchi Ultra XR4 from the 2019 season. These are the bikes that these riders rode to their victory of Grand Tour success over 2 decades apart. First off, let's take a deep dive into Pantani's Mega Pro XL. Now, the bike that Pantani rode to the historic Giro Tour double was a custom geometry 7000 series aluminum Bianchi. The bike was built in-house in Italy at Bianchi using double-butted aluminum tubing from Data Chai. The frame set was matched with a team issue Time carbon fork and was painted in the classic Celeste blue with a yellow fade throughout the frame set to match the team's colorway of Mercatone Uno, the program that Marco Pantani raced for. The bike had an Italian threaded BB, a square tapered spindle, non-integrated 1-inch head tube, and TIG welded dropouts. It measured at 51 centimeters. Now, Roglic's bike has it way different than Pantani's in many ways. No custom aluminum or carbon fiber for the Slovenian champion. He rides a stock Ultra XR4, but he does pull some weight in the custom paint department that includes an eagle on the top tube flying over the Col de Golibier. Roglic's bike is undoubtedly faster in a wind tunnel, more aero, and probably more comfortable, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it handles a little better than Pantani's did. Roglic rides a size 53, has a tapered head tube, a press fit bottom bracket to keep up with the times. Marco was proudly sponsored by Campagnolo. The group set on Marco's bike was a record titanium 9-speed group set. It was made from forged aluminum and the levers were alloy. The crank's 170 in length, but do not let that trick you. Pantani rode a monster 5444 up front with an 1123 rear cassette. He was a total goat going up the climbs. And while Pantani's bike didn't have anything that needed to be charged on it, the team did plenty of charging with their credit card to buy all the champagne from all the wins that Pantani was racking up over the years. No, but in all seriousness, Pantani's bike was 100% mechanical, whereas Roglic's bike, practically everything has to be charged. His bike, like most of the peloton these days, is almost 100% electronic. The group set, GPS head unit, power meters. Pantani never rode with a power meter or a wireless GPS unit or electronic shifting. He did have a little wheel sensor and a small head unit to track miles, laps, time of day, and things like that, but rechargeable batteries, Bluetooth capability, and wireless transmission, they weren't even in the cards in '98. Pantani rode Campy, Roglic, Shimano. Roglic has several different bikes, but the one that we have featured here had a 5339 up front and an 1130 cassette in the rear. Now, a bike for all conditions, really. His bike is also spec'd with Shimano Dura Ace pedals, which are about 1/3 the size of Pantani's time-equipped magnesium pedals, which weighed 400 grams, versus Roglic's Dura Ace pedals that came in at almost half the weight at 230. Campy also supplied the brake set for Pantani front and rear single pivot brakes. The brake shoes had pronounced guides on them to be able to get the wheels in faster during wheel changes in the event of a flat tire, which is different than what we see on the bikes nowadays. And on Roglic's machine, he's running Shimano dual pivot calipers with that elegant taper to guide the wheel in the event that they get a flat. And you're probably asking, what about disc brakes? Now, these don't feature on either of these machines, but in Roglic's case, they do have some in his quiver of bikes, and he actually did ride them during the 2019 Giro Stage 6 while he was in the pink jersey when it was raining out. All right, we gotta talk about wheels and tires. The wheels on Pantani's custom machine were all metal, no carbon here. They were Campagnolo Electron 9-speed tubulars, a climber's wheel through and through. They were laced up with stainless steel spokes secured with brass nipples. They had 24 spokes on the front and the rear wheels. I can hear the hearts of traditionalists literally melting as I say those words. Now, Roglic has used Shimano's stock carbon C40 wheel set for the past couple of seasons. This is kind of cool though, when we start talking about the tires on the bikes. Both riders used Vittoria Corsa tubulars, and tubular tires is one tradition that hasn't changed quite so much over the last couple of decades. Of course, there's been innovations in compounds and durometers, and maybe even in size, with Roglic running 26C tires, whereas Pantani was using 21. And perhaps some stages nowadays are raced on tubeless tires for TTs and so on, but the tubular has continued to stand the test of time, at least for the moment. So the question that we have for you guys is, will tubeless ever be the default go-to for Pro Tour riders, or will they always run tubulars? Go ahead over and download the GCN app, vote, and let us know what you think. Let's talk about stem, bar, and cockpit for a second. Pantani's handlebars were supplied by ITM, and they had a very traditional classic curled bar style to them, not the ergonomic bars that we see more and more of today. It was attached to ITM's Big One stem, which was a beast. It had huge welds, it was made of a huge chunk of aluminum, and it was quite popular in Pantani's day. It was a threadless 2-bolt stem. Now, attached back to that was the ITM aluminum Super Italia Pro 260 bar, which Pantani rode with the hoods way down low in the front end, which definitely made for his signature style on the bike. Now, Roglic defines the carbon fiber one-piece movement that we're seeing by continuing to use a traditional cockpit up top. He uses FSA OS 99 stem with a traditional bend FSA bar. Nothing ergo or fully carbon going on either bike, although the integrated headset of the XR4 and the oversized tapered headset do lend for a cleaner, more slammed stem look on Roglic's bike versus Pantani's. As I said earlier, the bikes look quite different. The slick styled shaped aero carbon of the XR4 versus the butted aluminum tube set of Pantani's bike have distinct differences in every way. Aluminum, titanium, carbon, but in much different proportions, are still being used in the peloton today. But one metal that Pantani has over Roglic is the magnesium in the time-equipped pedals. Roglic needs to get on point there. Roglic and just about every other rider in the world are using carbon wheels versus the aluminum ones that we saw underneath Pantani back in the day. But with all that carbon, Pantani's bike is rumored to have weighed just 6.96 kilograms, which is just over 15 pounds, which is basically the UCI weight limit. So Pantani's bike for that time was hyper lightweight, if that actually holds water. Roglic on his bike, when GCN weighed it, was just at 7 kilograms. But regardless of the weight and the aerodynamics, the ride quality of the new XR4, without a doubt, it takes less watts to go the same speed as Pantani did back in the day. We cannot deny that. Roglic used a stock carbon 53, Pantani a custom 51 aluminum. Roglic 11-speed electronic, Pantani mechanical 9-speed, an even bigger spread of gears for the Slovenian. No power meters, no GPS units for Pantani, just a number plate which was attached to the top tube, not the rear of the bike like we see in today's racing. Pantani also used one bottle cage, which was key for climbers back in the day, whereas Roglic opts for 2. Roglic, the junior world champ, ski jumper with his iconic victory salute, Pantani with his trademark attacking style, earrings and bandana flapping in the breeze, earned him one of the most memorable nicknames in all of cycling. We can only dream of these two meeting and doing battle, with Pantani on his retro rig and Roglic using the modern day technology. Obviously, we're never gonna get the ability to see that race, but we can dream about how it would go. And while some things stay the same, so many things have changed. Let us know which one you would rather ride. Are you a retro or are you a modern rider?